I'd like to welcome you to the Donnie Glover Show. Emmy-nominated, I should say, right here at STEM City, USA. All praises be to the Creator for another day in the land of the living. Special thank you also to both Dr. Tyrone Taborn and to Brian Davis, our super producer, right here at the Thurgood Marshall Amenity Center. If you don't know, we're located at 1315 Division Street. We have a very special guest. Now, Christmas is over. We're about to go into New Year's, and we certainly hope that you are at peace. We hope that you have been protecting your peace of mind. A whole lot of thoughts go through our minds during this particular time of the year, the closing out of one year, the going into another, the closing of past projects and preparation for the new 2026. Here at BMORENews.com, we've had a phenomenal year for 2025. And one of the people who has been a part of this movement is the one, the only Alice Torriente. How you doing, Aunt Alice? She's on the line, by the way.
Thank you. How are you? And happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too. So what have you been following politically?
Well, of course, you know I've been following a young lady who is running from Texas for Senate.
Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, yes, indeed. I have been following Jasmine Crockett all the way. And I've been looking at the craziness that's been going on in Washington, the fact that we all may have an increase in our health care if nothing happens when these folks come back. Well, everything runs out on the 31st. The health care that Barack Obama had given us, and then I've been looking at the Barack Obama library that's about to open in June of 2026. And, my eyes have been on the Epstein information, and it's just been a lot going on.
What do you think of the Trump Kennedy Center?
I'm very disappointed, and I concur with what the Kennedy visa said. The fact that people are declining to appear because Trump has placed his name on the center. And I'm wondering how long it's going to take once he's out of office to get his name out of it. However, the people the people working there are losing money. The makeup people, the wardrobe people, the lighting people, because all of the booked acts have canceled. And so they're not able to work. And so it's very, very sad. Very, very sad.
So one name I want to put before you, we talked about during the pre-interview, and you're not expecting this, but how is your dear friend, former state senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam? We know that she's had a tumultuous year, but give us an update.
I spoke with Shirley yesterday. She's not doing too well physically. We spoke very briefly, and fortunately, she's made a move. She's moved out of her home, and she has assistance. And so I, speak to her just about every day to try to give her moral support and wish her well. But she's not in the best of health right now. So please, people, take a moment to give a prayer for her, because she's just been such a wonderful legislator.
Yes, tell us about her legislative career.
Shirley's political slogan was "A nurse for your political health," and she made sure that when she was in Annapolis, she looked at the things that were happening health-wise for African Americans. She is noted nationwide for disparity in health for African Americans and brown people. And so she has spoken out about that and is well known, well respected based on what she's done regarding those health disparities.
Okay. How is your governor doing?
My governor's doing well, in my estimation. When you read stuff online and on your information, it looks like a whole bunch of people are talking very negatively about him. But I'm hoping that he's going to continue to do well. Interestingly enough, when I was looking at some information previously, they had him as number 4 as among the people who may be running for president. However, he said he is not running for president. He plans to run again for governor of Maryland. And he's also has an appeal now to raise funds for his upcoming campaign because, of course, we all know that when they go back into session in January, they can't raise any money.
Okay. So have you been following the Baltimore County executive race? I have talked with Izzy Patoka, the councilman. I have talked with Julian Jones, the former council chair, 2 times, first time for a Black person. And I have talked to Nick Stewart, a young man with a background in advocacy. And both Nick Stewart and Izzy Patoka, interestingly, come out of the O'Malley camp. Any thoughts?
Yes, I have. To a degree, I've followed it. I've talked to my delegate, who's my neighbor, Cheryl Pasteur, and so we've been talking back and forth about it. But no, I've not made any decision at this point.
Cheryl Pasteur is a dear heart. For anyone that doesn't know, she's got to be one of the most ferocious fighters for our young people's education, particularly in Baltimore County. Would you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You don't want to get on her bad side, let me tell you.
No, certainly. Of course, she's my soror. She's a Delta, so you don't mess with Deltas.
Oh, okay. If you didn't know, now you know. Don't mess with the Deltas, particularly here in Maryland. Okay.
Right.
Anything else come across your political plate there, Auntie? This is Alice Torriente. Let me just tell you, she's the daughter of our beloved Senator Troy Braley. And as a matter of fact, when I was just coming out of high school, my mother took me by the hand and walked me around the corner to Senator Braley's house to get that scholarship money. And how many of us know that state senators and delegates give up scholarships every year? Did you know? 841-3000. Now you know. 410-841-3000. Find out who your state senator, if you don't know who they are, who your delegates are, and know that you can get money for college from either of them. 188 options. Is that right, Auntie? As long as you go to school in Maryland or a program that's not offered here in Maryland, they will pay for that, at least last time I checked.
Absolutely, last time I checked as well. Really, Obama has been on my mind, and that the opening of that center, because I really would like to go out to Chicago to see that I have a contribution that I want to make to that museum, and what's happening with Jasmine Crockett. They've been the 2 top things on my agenda.
And of course,
I'm really looking at Marjorie Taylor Greene, though. That has been a very interesting supposed conversion.
Okay, so first with Jasmine Crockett, for those that don't know, she's running for Senate, correct?
In Texas.
In Texas.
Yes.
They tried to gerrymander her out of her congressional district, so she just one-upped them and said, hey, well, let's just go for the whole kit and caboodle.
Absolutely. Brilliantly intelligent young lady, well prepared, knows her stuff. Makes you proud every time she opens her mouth.
Mm-hmm. And now you wanted to tell me about who?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Mm-hmm. What about her?
Marjorie Taylor Greene was a MAGA supporter, one of Trump's big MAGA supporters.
She jumped ship, though, didn't she?
Yeah, she's resigning before her time is up, so that means there's going to be a special election in her area of Georgia. And she's talking about Trump. She's sided with the victims of Epstein. And so it's been very, very interesting. I'm wondering, there is a message to her man that girlfriend made a lot of money on some insider trading. So I guess she can afford to, move away from being in Congress. But I'm just so shocked because she was such a MAGA person. For her to turn on Trump to go the opposite direction has really just shocked everybody, I would suspect.
Any thoughts on this on the Epstein case and the releasing of the files? Any update on that?
Well, I understand that they just came up with a lot of more pages, and they have not released them all of the pages were supposed to be released on the 19th of December. And they have not. They're supposedly discovering more pages, and they said that the DOJ Department of Justice is holding them up because they're trying to take Trump's name out of it. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
What does it say about a country that protects pedophiles?
Not a good. It doesn't say very well anything very well about them.
Any final thoughts?
It is shameful.
Any final thoughts?
Well, I wish that we have a prosperous 2026, and I just hope that our government gets straightened out, that we do well in the midterms, and we're able to take back the Senate and the House. And that will stop some of the foolishness.
You know, as we speak right now, they're laying to rest Charles Robinson. Did you know Charles?
Yes, I did. In fact, interestingly enough, he's up at the funeral home. I was there last night because our church secretary, Tanya, passed away. We were there last night, and Charles is there as well. They're having his funeral today at 10 o'clock at the, I believe, at Charlestown. There was quite a crowd at Wiley's funeral. It was at Wiley's funeral home. And I knew Charles from Maryland Public Television.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, his funeral will be today. Happens at 10 o'clock today.
Yeah, it's happening as we speak. Noted journalist. He's one of my mentors. And I knew I had a shoot today, and I think he would much rather me be doing this show and paying homage to people like him and others who paved the way for journalists like myself. So ashe to the life of Charles Robinson. Alice Torriente, we want to thank you for joining us today.
Well, you're more than welcome. It's my pleasure. Happy New Year. Happy, prosperous, and blessed New Year to all.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Goodbye.
Goodbye. When we talk about mass incarceration, when we talk about public education, when we talk about black business, when we talk about STEM and scientific research, when we talk about how all of these things interact and intersect with people of color, it's talking about you and the impact on your life. People say, I'm not into politics. Everything you do is political. Everything you touch, you say, any actions you take, whether you're driving your car, taking your kid to school, your child to school, it's all governed by some political policy, by something determined by the people that we have elected, people that we have voted for. So this should matter to you because it's about you. It's about you and your family. It's about you and your children and their education and the community in which they live and the resources that come to that community and the resources that have historically not come to certain communities. That's why you should watch this show, not just today, but every day. My name's Donnie Glover, and you keep watching The Donnie Glover Show. So on Saturday, coming up, Saturday, January 3rd, we have the Black Wall Street New Year's Summit coming up. We had one last year up at the Sankofa Museum. This year we'll be at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center on Saturday, January 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I wanted to share with you some of the people who will be in attendance. So if you are in business, young or not so young, seasoned or very young, doesn't matter, 8 to 80, and anywhere in between, we have something for you. We have a number of dynamic speakers, including our keynote, who is Robin Murphy of Create Baltimore, the CEO. If you don't know Robin, you're missing a real dynamo. And if you are a woman in business, you really don't want to miss this event because we have some of the best, including Mob the Block. Now, let me tell you about these two sisters, Melissa and LaRonda. These two out of Fort Washington, they essentially take the cell phone. They get a whole bunch of people with cell phones and live social media accounts, and they'll go to a business, a black-owned business, and they'll mob it. They call it mobbing the block. So they bring all these people in. They're doing Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives, YouTube Lives, and they're broadcasting simultaneously. And then they raised $15,000 for a local business. What do you think of that? Well, we're going to have them right there at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center, 401 North Howard Street, this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to talk about branding. Robin Murphy will come there, no doubt, teaching us about strategy and sharing some words of encouragement. And then we've got 2 awards. We've got the Youth Awards. The Youth Awards. This is our second annual Youth Awards. I think thus far we have 6, 7, 8 youth. And we're really excited about this. It is important that BMORENews celebrates our young Black entrepreneurs. I'm on a mission to find every youth entrepreneur in Baltimore and highlight them, celebrate them, lift them up, encourage them. I want them to know, hey, if you had the wherewithal to think of a business at this age in your life, then guess what? You have some support. You have some people who want to see you succeed at growing your business. My daughter started hers at 16. She went from dreadlock to, those braids. And I said, if you're going to wear them, you might as well sell them. Well, this young lady then contacted China and started getting bundles of hair sent to her house. She had to eventually get a shop and so on and so forth. So kudos to my own daughter. And they say charity starts at home. So more on the Black Wall Street Summit. Other appearances, we will have Cloverdale basketball royalty in the house. At the last event, we had the 73 Dunbar Poets. At this event, we're going to have Mr. Rocky, Mr. Bill Harris, and other legends from Cloverdale basketball. For those in the world of basketball, I don't have to tell you what Cloverdale is. For those who don't know, Baltimore is a basketball town. CIAA is coming here because it's a basketball town. Long before anybody else had to tell us, we knew this is a basketball town. And as an alumni of Poly and actually an official alumni of Dunbar, that's where I graduated from, sports is a very special part of Baltimore culture. Football, basketball, baseball, my sport, wrestling, my sport, track and field, boxing, wrestling, martial arts, kickboxing, all of that. Baltimore is a town full of phenomenal athletes. Y'all remember Birdman from back in the day? I think that was Northwestern High School. That was before your time there, Brian. Guy named Birdman. He was fast. So fast he could pin a bullet. Okay, we got an authors panel, and we're almost done. We got an authors panel, Alexis Solis. We have Latricia Lofton. Dr. David Miller is going to be our moderator, and Beverly Smith coming all the way from Washington, D.C. Oh, and Sunshine Walker. And I got to tell you, we got an RSVP. I got a message this morning. A lady said, well, I want to do a TV drop, and we're coming down from Philly. And I'm going to tell you what I told her, because I like to be transparent. I said, lady, if you're going to come all the way to Baltimore just to do a drop on our TV show, you're going to do that on me. That's only fair. Don't you think that's fair? Traveling from Philly, that's what, hour and a half? Hour and a half down, 3 hours? Come on now, that's on the house. That's what we're going to do. And that's what Mob the Block has done. They came from Fort Washington all the way to Baltimore to help a local business. Baltimore, come on. They helped $15,000. The lady's doors were about to close. That's Black Wall Street. It doesn't have to be something magnanimous. You got to build a 36 square blocks of black business. No. This is 2025. Everything's virtual, digital, but we can do so much. We could share someone's post. We could like it. We could email it or send it to someone. You could send it to someone else. There are many ways we can support each other. We got to find ways to do that versus finding ways to hurt each other and tear each other down. That's what we want to do in 2026. And on that note, and you go to Black Wall Street Summit 2026.eventbrite.com. On that note, my final word for the day is, and Dr. Tyrone Taborn's going to like this. A couple of years ago, when he first brought me on board, well, this was even prior to that, we had this conversation because he knows I'm deep into politics. He knows I go hard in the paint. But he shared a message with me. It was so Christ-like, if you will. Not that he was trying to be a Christian, I'm not saying that, but his approach. Because, I'm more like in your face with the mic, journalism. Tyrone, he'll give kind of like parables. You think? They say Jesus spoke in parables. But long story short, and I know you're on the edge of your seat, there's an important thing we have to consider. New Year's coming in. This year we're closing out. And there's some people that did us wrong. There's some people who ticked us off. They did something. You know who you are. Tyrone's message was something like, you see that? Be careful pointing fingers. Because every time we point a finger, it's 3 coming back at us. But his real message was forgiveness. So I challenge you. Is there someone out there that you need to forgive? I'm asking myself, as I minister to you, I minister to myself. I'm asking myself the same question. Is there someone that I need to forgive? The new year is gone out. We're still alive. Some people did not make it. Are we going to hold on to grudges against people who are no longer with us? We all got to grow in that area. Tyrone talked about forgiveness. And I will tell you, it might be one of the most difficult things to do in the world. But Tyrone, he just insisted, maybe felt like I needed to hear the message. We have to forgive. I did not say forget. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Not saying forget, but forgive. If we're carrying around bitterness, especially bitterness from 20 years ago, oh my God. And I'm going to say it. Somebody needs to hear it. We have to forgive ourselves. There's some mistakes we made. There's some people we dealt with. There's some places we went. We can't change that. There's nothing we can do. It's gone. Now, I'm not throwing religion or any of that on you, but forgive yourself. Give yourself some grace. Pat yourself on the back, especially if you're a giver. If you are a giver, you really got to protect your spirit. Those people that don't appreciate your gifts, take them to where they are appreciated. But we got to get rid of the bitterness, self-included. And I got a confession to make. I still support Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys. Maybe the leadership could have done things differently. Maybe if the leadership raised the money, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I just think that in a state as wealthy as Maryland, we should not have any problems funding a school for boys in a state that specializes in incarcerating. I think the Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys has to get an EDD, a doctor, someone with a doctorate of education advocating for them. And they're going to have to get some partners, some big boys downtown who understand the mission. We've been fighting. The show you last saw, I was very, very adamant that it's a crying shame that we can't do better and support this school. I still stand by it, but I'm open to any suggestions because we're in the final hours. And what we do not want is for that school to be closed. So if there's anyone out there, including the good Lord above, who can keep that school open and serving young boys here in the state of Maryland, here in the city of Baltimore, then I pray that happens. Again, thank you to Brian Davis, our super producer, also Dr. Tyrone Taborn of STEM City USA. My name's Donnie Glover. Do check out BMOREnews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Also, do check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Donnie Glover. I'm on all of the social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. That's about my limit. You know, they got this new one out, Thread. I don't need another one. Do you need Thread? I don't have time for you, Thread. I mean, it's just too much. And I think that's my final word. Don't do too much. Do what you need to do. Some of us have been doing too much, and I'm hoping not to be one of those people in 2026. Have a positive new year, and we'll see you next year. Thank you.